Hello student, we go over R5, simplify radical expression with variables 2. Okay, we can do this. So this is even root, okay? So the answer makes you in absolute value side. Okay. So now I can break down as square root of 676 and then square root of x to the 8. Okay, square root of 676, the answer is 26. And then square root of x to the 8, we already know the answer. Okay, so x to the 8 divided by 2, which is x to the 4. But you can see over here, 26 is always positive, so you don't need absolute value sign. And then x to the 4 is always positive, so you don't need absolute value sign. That's it, we're done. The final answer is 26 x to the 4. 26 x to the 4. Alright, submit. We should be correct. Voila. Okay. Next one, we do the same thing, but this time odd root. So when you have odd root, you don't worry about absolute value side. Alright? Okay, so now you take cube root of 81 and then cube root of x to the 9. 81 is 81 is actually 27 times 3, but 27 is 3 cubed. Alright, so you can see here. So let's do it slowly over here. 3 cube and then 3, so that's an 81. Okay, and then cube root of x to the 9. So you can see it right here. 3 power 3, and this is the cube root. So you take it outside, so that would be 3. Alright, 3 over 3, which is 1. And then the number 3, you still stuck there with the cube root. Okay? And then x to the 9 inside the cube root, if you take it outside, that would be x 9 divided by 3. Okay? So here we go. So now we have only 3 cube root of 3, and in the back you have x cubed. Hi Mauricio, you come after 30 minutes, so you're absent today. Alright, can you take your note please? So now, normally you put the root in the back. So I put 3 and then x cubed in the front. And then you put cube root of 3 in the back. Okay? So here we go. So let's put it in. 3x to the third. Move your cursor down. This is cube root. Alright? With number 3. Okay, so I submit, I should be correct. So make sure if it's cube root, it stay cube root. Alright? Alright, next one over here. This is even root, so the answer, make sure you put absolute value sign. Okay, so I put absolute value sign in the front. This is x to the 8, I divide by 4. Okay? I divide by 4 because this is 4 root. I come out absolute value of x squared. But remember, x squared is always positive, is that right? X squared is always positive. How do you know it's always positive? Because the power is even. The power 2 is even. Okay? The power 2 is even. Okay? So that's why the answer only x squared. Mauricio, you need to catch up. Check your note, please. So I'm gonna give here, Mauricio, here's a note. Come up here, get your note. You got note from your friends? Okay. So you can see the answer is x squared. So I put down x squared. That's it. Here we go. X squared. Voila. Done. You don't need absolute value sign because x squared is always positive. If you put absolute value sign, they will tell you it's incorrect because it's obvious. Okay? If something obvious, it's like you say, oh, the bird is flying, it's obvious. If you say the dog is flying, then it's not obvious, is that right? The bird is flying, of course they're flying. Hi, Adrian. Minga, please. Okay, let's do one more over here. This time it's also even. This is square root, so even. So the answer is absolute value side. But this is x to the 7. We already get from the table. Alright? But let's do it again. X to 7. 7 is not divisible by 2. So you have to break it down. X to the 6 and x to the 1. Okay. X to the 6 divide by 2, which is x3. So the other x, you cannot do anything. It's still stuck inside the square root. Okay? So now absolute value, x to the third, and then square root of x. Okay? So now, the square root of x is always positive, so you can leave outside. Okay? So I put absolute value x to the third, and then square root of x. That's it. That is the answer. Okay? So I put the answer over here. I put absolute value. I put x power to the third. I move it outside, and then I put square root of x. Alright, I should be correct. Submit. Alright, here we go. What level are we at right now? We at level 3. Okay, we can do up to level 5. Okay, so now same thing. This is even root. So the answer has to be absolute value sign. Okay, so now x squared divisible by 2, y6 divisible by 2. Okay, here we go. And then y6 divisible by 2. Okay, so now absolute value of x and then y to the third. None of this is always positive, so that is the answer. Okay, so this is the answer. I put it in absolute value. Here we go. And then I put x and I put y to the third. Okay, voila. Okay. Same thing over here. This is odd power, so the answer doesn't need to be inside the absolute value side. Okay? So now 18 divisible by 3, 6 also divisible by 3. So perfect. So x18 divided by 3, and then y6 divided by 3. So I come out x power to the 6 and then y power 2. That's it. That is the answer. You need to wait, please.
Wait for what?
Until Adrian come back. If he's not coming back, 9:25, you can go. Alright. So I put the answer right here. X power to the 6. Move the cursor over. Y square. Y square. Alright. Voila. Okay. Here we go again. This is even. So the answer needs absolute value sign. Okay? Even. Okay. So now 2 divisible by 2, 10 divisible by 2. Okay? So you come out absolute value. So x power to the 1 and then y power to the 5. None of these always positive, so you leave inside the absolute value sign. Okay? So I go to answer box over here. I put it down. Absolute value sign. I put x and then y power to the 5th. That's it. X power to the 1, you don't have to. You don't have to. Alright? Submit. Alright. So now, this is odd power. Do you need absolute value sign with odd root? Absolute value sign proves. Do you need absolute value sign with odd root? No. Look at your paper. No, you don't need absolute value sign. Alright, so now 3 and 6, they both divisible by 3, so perfect. Alright, they both divisible by 3. So you come out x to the 1 and then y squared. That's it. That is the answer. Okay, so I put over here x and then y squared. Alright, ta-la. Take a look. Voila. You see that? Now proves with the even root. Do we need absolute value sign in the answer? Oh my god. Okay, let's take a look over here. This is even. Okay, so the answer you need the absolute value sign. Okay, 10 divisible by 2, so perfect, you divide by 2. 12 divisible by 2, perfect. Alright, absolute value sign, 10 divided by 2, that's a 5. 12 divided by 2, that's a 6. Y to the 5th and x to the 6th, any of these is always positive, proves. Any of these is always positive. Which one? Y to the 6th, correct. So now you just leave absolute value with x to the 5th and y in the 6th. You can leave it outside. Okay, that's it. Here we go. Absolute value x to the 5th. Alright, ooh, make sure it stays inside the box. Okay, now moves outside, y to the 6th. Voila. Okay. Okay. 3:19. We still have 40 minutes, 38 minutes. All right, let's go to the paper and then we'll finish. We'll finish the paper. Okay? Okay. So now, as you see, the more we go, it's fancier, but it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. All right? So now you can see this is 5th root, so this is odd. So the answer, you don't need absolute value sign. Okay? So let's refresh your memory. If you take odd root, okay? So n had to be odd, okay? Of -1. The answer will be -1 magically can power an odd number, it's still -1. Alright? So that's why the answer come out negative. So basically, if you see an odd root with a negative sign, you can take it outside. Alright? If you take an odd root of -1, then you can take it outside. Okay? So now that's it. So now same thing over here. This is a negative sign, alright? So you can take it outside. Here we go. Now, 5 and 10, they both divisible by 5. 5 and 10, they both divisible by 5. Okay? So now x to the 5th divide by 5. And then y to the 10 divide by 5. Okay? So now you come out x power to the 1 and y squared. Okay? That's the final answer. You don't have to put power 1. So the answer is -x and then y squared. Alright? If you put power 1, it's still correct. You see that? Alright, let me show you on the calculator. You see here? Negative 1. If you power of 3, it's still negative 1. You see that? Negative 1 power 5 is still negative 1. Negative 1 power 7 is still negative 1. Is that amazing? Because negative 1 times negative 1 times negative 1 with even, with an odd, it still come out negative 1. So that's why over here, you got fifth root of negative 1. Negative 1, you can make it equivalent to negative 1 power to the fifth. So that's why you can take it outside. Alright? So that's why you can take it outside. Do not lose it. Do not lose it. Okay. Ready for number 7? Alright? Again, this is the odd root. With a negative 1 outside, you can take it outside. Okay? So 512. Let's try to do third root of 512. Third root of 512. Oh, it's come out number 8. Beautiful. Okay. So here we go. Negative sign. Negative sign. And then third root of 512. Okay. And then x to the 9. Third root of x to the 9. And then y to the 18. Okay. You can go. Minga, do you create Minga? Show it to me. Alright. So now negative sign is still there. Cube root of 512, that's a number 8. Okay? And then x to the 9, you divide by 3, because this is the cube root. Alright? Y to the 18, you divide by 3. Alright? So you come out negative 8, x cubed, and then y to the 6. This is odd root, you don't have to worry about absolute value sign. Does it work?
Yeah.
Go ahead. Alright, do not forget a negative sign. Alright, this is cube root, is that right? So you divide by 3. Cube root, you divide by 3. Hi. Someone? Sarah? Are we ready for number 8? Same thing. Number 8 is cube root. Okay, do we need absolute value sign for cube root? Proves. No, because cube root is an odd root. No. Only even root, you need absolute value sign. Okay, so here we go. Are you ready? Okay, so here we go. Negative sign, you can move outside. When you see the number 1,000, 1,000, is that 10 cube? 10 cube is 1,000. And then x to the third, and then y to the sixth. 3 and 6, they all divisible by 3. Alright? So actually, so far, we don't see something fancy. Nothing really fancy. Alright? So now, here we go. 10 power to 3. 3 divided by 3. Okay, let's do it slow. 10, 3 divided by 3. Is that 1? Okay. And then x power 3 divided by 3. And then y power 6 divided by 3. Okay. So now you got the answer, negative 10. Because 3 divided by 3 is 1. And then x Okay, let's put number 1 there. And then x power 1 and then y squared. Okay, power 1 you don't have to write it. So let's write one more time from here. Subtract 10x and then y squared. Number 1, power 1, you don't have to write it. You see that? I don't need calculator. 1,000 should be 10 power to the third. So you divisible by 3. Divide by 3. Divide by 3. You see that? Here we go. They all divisible by 3. We got 2 more. Hi, Ethan. You need to wait until 9:35. Are we good up to number 8? Okay. Now let's go to number 9. See anything fancy? Oh, number 9 is the last one. Oh my. Alright. 4 root, is that even? Even. Do we need absolute value sign on the answer? Proves. Yes or no? Yes, of course. Alright. Who's absolute value sign down? Alright. So now, take a look over here. Number 5, is it divisible by 4? No. So what should we do about that? What should we do about that? What? We have to break it down. X to the 5th, if not divisible by 4, we break it down at x 4 and 1. Because 4 plus 1 is 5. How about 20? Is that divisible by 4?
Yeah.
Of course. Done. Alright. 625. 4 root. If you use your calculator, tell me the answer. What is it? 4 root of 625. Go ahead and calculate it. What is it? 5. Perfect. Okay. So now the answer is number 5. And then x to the 4. You divide by 4. So if you divide by 4, you can take it outside. Alright? Should we do faster? Divide by 4. You take it outside. Okay? Let me write this one, give it more space. Get more space here. Alright? So x power to the 4 divide by 4. And then y power to the 20 divide by 4. So x power to the 1, you could not take it outside. So it's still there. It's still there inside the 4 root. Okay? And now we're done. Absolute value, x power to the 1, and then y power to the 5th, and then 4 root of x. Okay? Now, any of these is always positive. Number 5, is that positive? And then 4 root of x is always positive, so you can leave it outside. Okay? So number 5, you leave it outside. So x and then y power to the 5th is not positive. It's not always positive, so you can leave it inside the square root. Okay? And then 4 root of x, you can leave it outside. Okay? So here we go. That's the final answer. Amazing, you guys did it. Yes, sir. 9:35, Ethan. 9:40, you can go. 9:45.
So what if they come back?
If they come back, then you can leave early.
9:45, you can't go to that.
All right. Continue on your IXL, please. Emiliano, how many points you have so far on IXL?
9.
Keep going. Don't stop. You mean 9 or 90? 9. So you did only one problem.
No.
You guys, if you don't know what to do, you submit and they will tell you how to do it. All right? Their way may be a little longer than mine.
What?
I know. All right, let's take a look over here. For example, this, I don't know what to do. Pretend I don't know what to do. I submit. Voila.
Mr. Harley, came back.
Who came back?
So,
Nicola is a
I
TA.
just.
Who's out?
He's on the roster.
Adrian is out. Kainoa is out.
Do you think they're gonna come back? No.
35, so now Ethan can go. All right, so take a look over here. They do exactly what I did. All right? So this is odd root, so the answer has no absolute value sign. Okay? So now x to the 9, they break it down at 3 times 3 because you divide by 3, all right? So the power 3 and the 3 root cancel out. So the answer is only x to the third. Y to the 15, they break it down at 5 times 3, 15. So now third root and power 3 cancel out. So y to the 5th. That's it. And they said it right here. N root of a power to the n cancel out. You see that? All right, so let's go back over here. Let's go back over here. Okay, so we do continue. Continue with this. Okay, so take a look over here. This is even root. Even root, so the answer needs absolute value sign. Okay? So now, y, x to the 4, 4 and 8, they're both divisible by 4. So I should divide by 4. Alright? 8 divided by 4. Okay? So absolute value, this is x power to the 1 and y squared. But you can see y squared is always positive. Okay? Always positive, so I can leave it outside. Okay? So now only absolute value of x and then y squared I leave it outside. Okay? Here we go. So I go to answer box, I put absolute value of x, and then outside I put y squared. Alright, submit, voila. Same thing again. Okay, this is even root, so you need absolute value sign. Okay, here we go. 16 and 8, they both divisible by 4. So let's do it again over here. X power 16 divided by 4. Y power 8 divided by 4. Okay. So now 16 divided by 4, that's a 4. 8 divided by 4, that's a 2. So you can see both of them always positive. Okay? Both of them always positive. So you can take it out of the absolute value side. So x to the 4 and then y squared. That is the answer. So x to the 4 and then y square. Oops. Y square. Alright, voila. Any questions so far? Anything that we need to go over? All right, let's go, Emiliano. Let's go. Don't get stuck. Emiliano. Here we go. All right. Emiliano, if x power to the 4, if you already divide by 2, it should be outside your square root. So why do you still put it inside? I would put it x squared in front of square root. Emiliano, if you already take the square root of 289 is 17, so it's no longer in the square root. You already take the square root already, so why the answer is still inside the square root? You see that? 17x squared, because x to the 4. 4 divided by 2 is squared. It's 2, alright? Go ahead. Alright, that's it. That's your final answer. You could put it in the absolute value, but 17 always positives, alright? And x squared always positives, alright? So you got that. So now use your calculator and take fifth root of 729. You can go. Fifth root, you enter only square root. It's not correct. You didn't use a correct button. Fifth root. Alright. Make sure you put fifth root. The power is fifth. 729. Erase everything. Click on the fifth root. The fifth root is the button on the right side of square root. Alright, and then put 729. Here we go. So it's not working out. Alright, so here we go. So let's do this. Pay attention over here. Alright, let's get out for a second. Patient over here. Alright. So this is what I would do. I go to and I find out. I want to find out 729. Okay, take a look over here. If 2 power to the 5th, it's 32. Alright. So now 3 power to the 5th, look at that. So now take a look over here. If I take 729 and I divide by 243, I come out number 3. Perfect. So what does it mean? It means that 729 is the same as 243 times 3. Alright? And 243 times 3 is the same as 3 power to the 5th. Alright? You see that? So now, if you take square root, fifth root of 729. Alright? It's the same as you take fifth root of 3 power to the 5th and then times 3. Alright? So now 3 power to the 5th, can you take it outside? Can you take it outside? And then the number 3 you still stick inside. So you see that? So that would be your answer on the part of fifth root of 729. So you put down outside 3 fifth root of 3. Okay? So the point here, if you want to simplify fifth root, you try to find a number, a perfect fifth root, a fifth power. Alright? And we figured that out. It had to be 3 power to the 5th. Alright? So now go back to yours over here. So that's the part, you already took care of it? What happened? Hold on. Right here. Okay. Let me see what happened here. Okay. You don't need absolute value. So you're done with that part. And now, x to the 5th. Divide by 5. So what is it? 5 divided by 5. So that's 1. So that will be x, alright? So you can put in the back or you can put in front of the square root. It's not inside the square root. You already simplify it. So y is still inside the square root. The x you can put inside of, in front of the fifth root. Put in front of the fifth root. If you put it in the back, it's still correct, but it's confusing. The fifth root is still there. You just move your cursor. You don't have to divide the whole thing. All right? So now you put fifth root. Oh my. You already 5 divided by 5 is 1. So there's no, only x power with the 1. Now fifth root of which number that we still have left? Number 3. You see that? You understand it now? All right? That's it. It's correct. Done. Let's see what happened here. Fifth root. On down. Let's go to the end. Don't do anything. Go to the end. Go to the end. Can you scroll all the way to the end, please? Scroll all the way to the end. That's the correct answer. Is that the one that you put? Is that what you supposed? Okay, 3x. They look identical, so I don't know why they said you are not correct. Exactly identical. 3x times fifth root of 3. So you understand? I don't know why they put. Maybe because you put multiply. Go to the end and see what happened. Go to the end. Go to the end. Keep going. All right. You see that? X to the 6. 7 to the 9 is x 3 to the 6. So you break it down. So now number 3 you go to the front. X go to the front. That is the answer. That's what you put. That's what you put. Yeah. I don't know why they said not correct, but we did it correctly. All right. This one you know what to do. From the table of question number 1. This is even root. You need the absolute value sign. Right here. You see that? Even root. So absolute value of x, and then the other x still stuck inside. You see that? Absolute value of x, and then square root of x. All right. Who else need help? Who else need help? Kainoa, did you do anything?
No.
Did you do anything on IXL?
No, I'm sorry.
All right. Who need help? David Nguyen, 69, 68. Aiden Chan. What's going on, Aiden Chan? Aiden Chan. Why you take your phone back? Aiden Chan, we already talked about that. The negative sign inside the odd root, you can take it outside. And then x3, x power 3 divided by power 3, what is that? And this is the odd root, you don't need absolute value sign. So what's the final answer? Negative x power to the 1, which you don't have to do. Put it, it's up to you. That's it. That is your answer. Because 3 divided by 3 is 1, is alright? And negative sign, you can take it outside. That's it. Negative x. That's it. Or you can put negative x power 1. Alright? 361. Can you take square root of 361 and see what happened? Can you take square root of 361? Is that 19? Perfect. Done. So now, x power to 13. 13 is not divisible by 2. So what should we do? You break it down at x power 12 and x power 1. Okay, let's put it right here. Done. Alright, take a look here, Aiden Chan. You got square root of 361 and then x power to the 13. Alright? So you take square root of 61, you already know it, and then square root of x to the 13. Okay. The answer in absolute value sign, this is you come out 19. Alright? And this one you break it down at x to the 12 and then x to the 1. Okay? So now let's take care of it. X to the 12 you divide by 2 because this is 2 square root. Okay? X to the 1 you cannot do anything, so it's still there. Okay? So now absolute value of 19 and x to the 6 and then square root of x. 19 is always positive. X to the 6, is that also always positive? Okay? And then square root of x is always positive. Okay? That is your final answer. You see that? That's it. So we do it slow, but next time I can do it super fast. X to the 12, I can take it outside and x to the 6. Because 12 divided by 2 is 6. Alright? And then x to the 1, you cannot do anything, it's still inside. It's still inside. That's it. All of these always positive. 19 always positive. X to the 6 always positive. Square root of x always positive. So you don't need absolute value sign. You don't need absolute value sign. Get rid of absolute value sign. That's it. That is your answer. Alright, let's do next one. X to the 5th. Go to the table number 1. Okay. How much time do we have left here? 57. Let's do a couple more, and then I can be done with my all right. So I can do this one more time. This level. Ooh. Let's keep going. Okay. So now this is 4 root. The answer has to be absolute value sign. So now divide by 4. A divided by 4. A divided by 4. So A divided by 4. And then A divided by 4. Okay. So absolute value of x squared and y squared. Both x squared and y squared are always positive. So you can leave it outside. Okay. So here we go. So x squared. And then y squared. Voila. Okay, so I can go to the next level, a little higher. Level 6, here we go. It's not a big deal. This is off root, so I can move the negative sign outside. Okay, no absolute value sign. Okay, x to the 9, now I divide by 3 because this is third root. Y 15 divided by 3. Okay, so I got negative x to the 3rd and then y to the 5th. I'm done. Okay, here we go. Negative x to the 3rd and then y power to the 5th. Okay, voila. I can do the next level, which is level 7. Not a big deal. Okay. So 27, you already know that's a 3q. Okay, 3q. And then x to the 6, y to the 18. 6 and 18, they both divisible by 3. Okay? So 3 power 3 divided by 3, x to the 6 divided by 3, and then y 18 divided by 3. So the final answer is 3 power 1 y x square. X square. This is x square. And then y power 6. Okay, that's it. So I put it in. Here we go. Number 3. X square. And then y power to the 6. Alright, done. Okay. Let's do one more level. Level 8. Okay. 441 is a 21 square. Okay. 21 square. So this is even, so make sure the answer in absolute value. Okay. Square root of 441, that's a 21. Okay. X to the 4, I divide by 2. And then y to the 4, I divide by 2. Okay. So I come out 21, absolute value of 21, x squared and y squared. All of these, 21 always positive, x squared always positive, y squared always positive. So I leave it outside. Okay, so 21 x squared, y squared. Voila, done. Alright, let's do one last one, level 9, and then we're done. Okay. 729, we did a second ago. 729, it is 729 is 3 power to the 6. We already know. We did earlier. And now x to the 5th, and then y to the 5th. Okay? So I would break it down at 3 power to the 5th and 3 power to the 1. And then x to the 5th and then y to the 5th. Okay? So as you can see, 3 power to the 5th, I can take it outside. X power to the 5th, I can take it outside. Y power to the 5th, I can take it outside. The only thing gets stuck is 5th root of number 3. You see that? That's 729. I guess I can check it now. Wrong class. It's okay. Here we go.
You just passed it.
Was it? Well, I have it somewhere. Number 1.
They're not right there.
I know, but it's not the correct one. Okay, I can mark it right here. Okay, here we go. R5, Ryland, Salvatore, done. Thank you. Diana, Emiliano, who else? Felisa Moore, Jacqueline, Aidan Chan, very good. Cruz and David. All right. Steve. All right. So when do you come out? Can I do and continue your test?
I do a fifth period. I got TA.
All right, 5th period it is. Mauricio.
Can I take the test like sometime after, like when I can, like this week?
Tomorrow.
Can I do it
Tomorrow you have a full flex again.
Okay, so do I just email you then?
Just show up.
Oh, okay.
Show up and I take care of your attendance.
Okay.
Show up here. Okay, the answer is, put it here, -3 x, y, 5th root of number 3. Voila. Thank you so much, you guys.